All right, you guys. So I want to just talk about the future for beautiful women because right now people's targeting and projection is really strong. And it's another sign that we're living in the last days because all the while we should just be trying to get along with everyone as a collective. But really, it's evil. It's the evil people that's making beauty a focus right now. If you're a spiritually minded person, you really don't give a fuck about beauty. And the thing about me, I don't care about beauty. I only made this page is because I literally have conversations with good looking people all the time. And it's like a lot of them are stressed out. A lot of them are isolated. A lot of them are being disrespected. And a lot of them are just going through it right now. So I said that jealousy and envy have reached extreme levels, distorting how beauty is perceived and treated. The reality of life for attractive people is becoming more complex, more hostile, and more revealing of the deep insecurities that dominate society. We live in an era where comparison is now constant. Envy is no longer subtle. It is vocal, public, and aggressive. People now feel entitled to express their disdain or attempt to diminish those who stand out. Or even if you're beautiful and someone can't understand you or feel close to you, they'll exclude you simply because you don't fit the beauty standard that they feel like is acceptable. And so we got to deal with those people because they want to be all under your butt because you're beautiful and they feel that they have the rights to. But we know that envy is no longer subtle. It is vocal, public, and aggressive. People now feel entitled to express their disdain or attempt to diminish those who stand out. For beautiful individuals, this can mean living under constant scrutiny, navigating an environment where hostility is disguised as opinion, and where hate often masquerades as honesty. What we have to realize, what ugly average people will never admit or acknowledge, is their toxic dynamic projection. They won't admit to it. They have no reason to, because when a person is ugly and average, right? They wake up in the morning, they know they are a 6 in the beauty scale. They benefit from maintaining the toxic narrative of beauty, and oftentimes ugly average people are not realistic. They're not realistic at all. That's why the dynamic is happening in society. And that's why it's causing so much confusion. I talk to people on a daily basis. They say it's causing confusion because it's like they see a pretty person and they like them, but then here comes a ugly average person like, oh, don't get with them. And it's just causing a lot of confusion. So we got to understand ugly average people refuse to admit how isolating and even dangerous it can be to live as a target of projection, because they're not going through that, they're not going through that. And oftentimes ugly average people favorite people, they judge harshly, and they don't go through nothing beautiful people go through, so they don't even understand a beautiful person's world. And instead of showing empathy towards attractive individuals, they are often met with dismissiveness. They look at attractive people like, what you complaining about? You're pretty. And so this denial is hurtful to the attractive person because it's dismissive. But we know things right now at this point have went too far beyond what we can change. The only one who can change this is God, and an attractive person must be responsible for their life right now, because ugly average people are going to maintain the dysfunctional perspective towards beauty, diversity. They're not going to make it normal, because why should they when they're benefiting from messing up people's their lens to what beauty really is, and then they're manipulating others to look down on certain attractive people. And this is why there is a call for beautiful people to take charge of their life right now. In this cultural climate, attractive people must find the courage to live unapologetically. To own one's beauty is not arrogance right now. It is self-preservation. When society attempts to weaponize jealousy, the only way forward is to reclaim power by refusing to be belittled for merely existing. This means being in environments where respect, peace, and positivity are prioritized. It means choosing friends who match you in looks and partners who uplift rather than resent you. Most importantly, it means rejecting the idea that beauty must be explained. You know, like attractive people, this is our time right now. We done dealt with so much stuff. Over the years with people projecting towards us, targeting us, even hostility coming at us because they don't like our beauty. You don't have to explain anything to any person at this point when navigating your beauty journey. It's up and over. Everything is what it is. So beautiful people, you need to live unapologetically. You know, it is time to declare that you have right to your space, your joy, and your influence. And sadly, the world, rather than celebrating diversity, culture increasingly pits people against one another, assigning value based on looks in a way that fuels rivalry, resentment, and hostility. Because I've even met other attractive women who are just attractive as me and don't like me. And it's like, are you okay? But someone ugly and average manipulated them. Someone ugly and average messed up their beauty lens. And this is why this dynamic will continue. And it's not just harmful for attractive people, it's poisonous for the whole world, you know? Because we don't know who telling the truth and who lying when it comes to the vision that comes to beauty envy, you know? Because that's why when ugly average people always try to explain why they didn't like somebody that was attractive, I don't fucking listen to them. I do not fucking listen to them, because a lot of times they be lying as fuck. But the manipulation tactics that ugly average people have used for years has been influential. Let's not lie about that. And this toxic cycle of comparison ensures that peace cannot truly be attained until people just treat each other like humans. But that's not going to happen in this hell-bent world full of competition. Those considered unattractive live in bitterness, while those considered attractive are living in defense right now. And humanity is losing its ability to connect genuinely now, because everything right now is measured by appearance. The reality is clear. Life for attractive people is not simply a path of privilege, but one of unique challenges. As jealousy and envy become more extreme, and as ugly average individuals refuse to admit these dynamics exist, beautiful people must rise with courage and ownership. And that's the only way. That's the only way right now. You know, we dealing with a toxic society that don't want to align, that don't want to get it right. Like I said, let's stop talking about looks. I really don't want to talk about looks no more. I want to just go outside, go to a gathering, get along with everybody, eat my food, be good. I don't want no microaggression from the average looking girls. I don't want no microaggression from the ugly girls. I want to unite as a collective. But this is not what's happening in this era. And the thing about ugly average people, they don't care, you know. They're like, they ain't got nothing to live for. I'm gonna say that about them, because you know why? They whole beauty presence is limited. When you ain't got nothing to live for, why the fuck should you care if someone is getting mad at the manipulation tactics you're creating for your world? And one thing about ugly people, they are going to do what they are going to do. They're going to be unapologetic about it. They're going to be unhinged, and they're going to have a beautiful life. And that's the thing. Beautiful people must stick around people, specifically people who match them in looks, for support right now. Because the more positivity you fuel in as a beautiful person, the less you will feel tainted by the toxic dynamics that ugly average people has implemented in society.